Nerds? I don't know what's going on there. Hi, how you doing? So,
Yes.
I'm currently getting Alphonse situated. He's almost to the point where I think he'll have enough SP to work with what he has. So, I'm getting there. I'm gonna make him a really bitchin' unit, and he's gonna have a video on it. He's also going to be useful in the next Tempest Trial, which is why I'm building him too. You know, I gave him his whole, refined weapon and everything. So, what do you have to say, Alphonse?
Promise you'll never leave us without warning me first.
Okay, that's a little bit clingy. I'm gonna leave now. Bye. So, why are we talking about Alphonse? Why are we talking about Tempest Trials? Well, because it's going to be the first in ever when it comes to heroes for Tempest Trials. And when I mentioned this in the event schedule video, I got a lot of comments that were upset,
Of course.
kind of mad about things, and I was really taken aback by that. So I'll give you just an example of why this might be, and I'm going to just talk about it. I want to see where your headspace is at this, because my goodness. So, this infograph comes from our data miners as always, and as you can see, our bonus allies and our unit rewards are, well, previous Tempest Trial units. All of them. All of them are previous Tempest Trial units. And not only that, there are no Sacred Seal rewards to be had at all this go-around. And that really sets some of you off in the comments. And I was kind of wondering as to why that was. And I was just like, what? Wow, that's weird. But yes, that is a really odd mixture of things that are coming. We kind of already knew this was, going to be happening, but we did not know to what extent. And now that we know that there are no Sacred Seals, there was a lot of displeasure in the comments, which I can understand. But I do want to point out that this is a really great time for those who are free to play to get some really great units. Sure, I think Tobin and Clive could really stand to be added to the summoning pool themselves, just because, well, they're not exactly something to write home about when it comes to units. Nothing to diss those, those characters. I know there's a lot of people who really love Clive and Tobin and all that fun stuff, but it's been a long time since they've been here. It's been a long time since they've shown up in game, so it just kind of makes sense that we would, maybe add them to the summoning pool a little bit later. However, this is the clearest fix, I guess, that we're going to be getting. But since you're all here talking about it, let's just mention a few things. One, Black Knight, Joshua, Arden, those are some phenomenal units. Not only that, you can make some really great armor emblem out of them without having to really invest too much, especially Black Knight, when it comes to units. And I was really surprised when people were kind of upset about that. Sure, it's not Zelgius, but it's still really good. Really great units there. I also think, if I recall correctly, Mass Marth is returning again, and from what I recall, and I could be wrong here, with this Mass Marth, if you've been playing for a while, this should be your +8 merge if you actually have been merging her at all, which is probably the highest merged free-to-play unit that is available right now, which is insane, and she's really good. She's actually, she's basically normal base Lucina, just without abilities, so you don't have to worry about anything. You could just throw her out there, and it's really, really useful. I'm kind of perplexed as to why people are so upset about this. Is it just because you really want a Vantage Seal like I do, or is it just because, it's not made for you? I'm not too sure about it. But all in all, this Tempest Trial is definitely aimed more towards free-to-play players. It's all about amassing these really valuable units. And I'm saying this because there were a lot of people who are huge Joshua fans, did not get to have him. Our huge Black Knight fans did not get to get him. Our huge Arden fans, is that even a thing? Who did not get to get him as well. And even me, myself, I did not get Tobin. Well, I got Tobin. I sent him home because he was useless back then. That was... at least I viewed him as useless. And it was just something that I regret even to this day. I want him back. So now that we're going to get that chance to have him return, I'm all for it. But it's, this is the first time we've ever had something like this. And I'm not really sure how people feel at the end of the day. And I would love to see how people, react. Are you going to be going for this Tempest Trial, or are you going to be skipping? I would really love to see how everything's going with this. Sure, it does not have any sacred seals or anything worthwhile there, but it is something that I feel for free-to-play players is really very useful, especially if you've missed any of these characters. I really want to see Joshua come back again, and I really hope that eventually, maybe, just maybe, they'll add some of these to the actual summoning pool and not just do something like this again. But you never know. You never know for sure, nerds. But if you can, do tell me in the comments what you think. It's a really odd situation, and I would hate to see people get upset over that, but I guess it's just typical of how it is with, you know, the internet and all this fun stuff. But it still looks like a really fun Tempest Trial. And not only that, it has very little investment, and you're going to be able to get a lot without having to do anything. I mean, just look at that. All the score points, you know, the modifiers are all units you're going to be getting, and, of course, Alphonse and Sharina, who you already have. So, yeah, you get to run around with your new refined weapons and go hurl at people like this. Yeah! And then call it a day. Alright, nerds. I'm going to let you guys go. Do tell me what you think. This is a first for Heroes, at least when it comes to Tempest Trials, and I just don't want to see people upset over it. So, catch you nerds later. Talk to me in the comments. Bye!